Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS who are the true leaders of Israel today. And salutations to all the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who are risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen, but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai. And the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Yakalia, and I'm from GMS Jamaica Kingston Camp. And this video is about trouble, famine, prophecy. Yeah, right? Because right now, with everything that's going on in the world, the skirmishes in the so-called Middle East, Salakio, please forgive me, I'm a little under the weather still, recovering. But the digital identification systems, the central bank digital currencies, just everything that's going on. Let's not forget as well the famine that is a major part of prophecy to come. Okay? So the year is 2024. Today's date is April 29th, 2024. And we have some developments going on in regards to food. Okay? So it says, farmers warn food aisles will soon be empty because of crushing conditions. We are not in a good position, right? So the United Kingdom is facing dire food shortages, forcing prices to skyrocket. And experts predict this is only the beginning. Okay. And I'm sure from your daily life experience, you've noticed the increase of prices. One thing that I hear people in America say a lot is like, in this economy, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was reading something the other day, and I think someone lost their employment, and I think people were happy that they did, because they said this person is an awful person. But someone was like, well, it's really rough for someone to lose their job in this economy, Yeah. So what's happening? According to a report by The Guardian, extreme weather is wreaking havoc on crops across the region. England experienced more rainfall during the past 18 months than it has over any 18-month period since record keeping began in 1836. Okay? Because the rain hasn't stopped, many farmers have been unable to get crops such as potatoes, carrots, and wheat into the ground. Usually you get rain, but there will be pockets of dry weather for 2 or 3 weeks at a time to do the planting. That simply hasn't happened, former Tom Allen Stevens told The Guardian. Farmers have also planted fewer potatoes, opting for less weather-dependent and financially secure crops. At the same time, many of the potatoes that have been planted are rotting in the ground. There's a concern that we won't ever have the volumes of potatoes we had in the past in the future, right? So less volume, it's a very basic understanding, right? Less volume of things, less food, right? When something becomes more scarce, the value increases, price increase. We are not in a good position, and it is 100% not sustainable. English farmers aren't alone. People are struggling to grow crops worldwide because of extreme weather, right? It's extreme weather on both ends, right? Because they have extreme weather over there in the UK. Because I'm just reading this first time, by the way. First time reaction. Okay? But you have extreme rain over there that causes them to not be able to harvest the crops, etc. But then out here in Jamaica, we're experiencing drought. So over there in the UK, it's extreme rain and rainfall. Out here, it is drought, right? Which doesn't allow the crops to grow. Okay, have that article. Okay, just real quick from the Jamaica Gleaner. What's this? 2 water trucks provided to aid farmers in St. Elizabeth impacted by drought. You see? So we're experiencing this out here in Jamaica. And this happens every year from, the spring going into the summer. This happens every year in recent years in Jamaica, right? But each year it gets worse, right? Okay. The title is sufficient. Let's go back to this. Dry weather in Brazil and heavy rainfall in Vietnam have farmers concerned about pepper production. Severe drought in Spain and record-breaking rainfall and snowfall in California. It snows in Cali? Have made it difficult for farmers to cultivate olives for olive oil. El Nino and rising temperatures cut Peru's blueberry yield in half last year. Everyone's favorite drinks, coffee, beer, and wine have all been impacted by extreme weather. Yeah, and I saw earlier regarding these food shortages in the UK, they said the price increase of 3 things will occur, and bread was mentioned as one of them. Okay. According to an ABC News report, the strain on the agriculture industry will likely continue to cause food prices to soar. If these were just isolated events, farmers could more easily adapt. Bad growing seasons are nothing new. The problem is that rising temperatures are directly linked to the increasing amount of gases as carbon dioxide and methane in the atmosphere. Okay, so I'm reading between the lines, and Esau Edom and his climate changes agenda. Don't forget about that. Keep an eye on that. Their whole global warming agenda, something that they put out there to the masses. I believe, from my memory recollection, it was during the time when Al Gore, is that his name, was running against President Bush. So they've been planting these seeds about global warming and climate changes and all these things and how it affects the world for decades. All right. Since the start of the Industrial Revolution, humans have burned oil, burned dirty energy. Okay, our climate is changing so drastically that the 10 warmest years since 1850 have all occurred in the last decade. Okay, so yeah, man. This is what's going on, and 762 comments. Let's see what the people have to say. Does it allow us to see? No? Okay, that's fine. It's completely fine. All right. Yeah, man, let's go to the scriptures regarding these things that are going on. All right. I'm looking for the storehouses in the apocryphal. Storehouses. Okay. Because here they're saying that aisles will soon be empty because of crushing conditions. Okay. 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And the trumpet shall give a sound which, when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. The announcement, right? That the sown places are appear unsown and the full storehouses are empty, which are those places that keep the food, right? Right now they're letting people know about it, okay, that this is the situation, but there's going to come the time where it's really glaringly obvious that the food is short, right? Back to the precept. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. So there's going to be a famine of food and water. Okay? And this will cause people to turn against each other. Right? 2nd Ezra chapter 2 and verse 15. Let's start at verse 14 to show you the situation that we'll be going into. The time of Jacob's trouble as well is this time. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be a sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Because the time is going to be so tumultuous, right? It's going to be pandemonium out there that the people are going to be like every man for himself, survival of the fittest, right? It's just going to be chaotic. And in order for you to escape that chaos that would have been built and manufactured by Esau Edom, the so-called white man, okay, it's all manufactured and calculated. The solution will be to take their microchip according to them. Okay, they'll say, here, this is the solution to getting out of all of your problems, right? Which is the mark of the beast, by the way, that microchip. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, the martial law. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. So you see, people are going to be turning against each other because of the lack of bread and the great tribulation, right? And it's going to start in a way that it's like first people are, well, let's just see when the Lord starts that portion of the program, but I can envision, speaking as a man, first seeing the food shortages, and out here in Jamaica, during the sea time, that major sea, in 2020, there's a time where in order to go to the grocery stores, they only allowed certain people to go on a certain day based on the beginning of their last name. So, for example, they would say, okay, on Monday, only people with the last name that goes from A to F can come to the grocery store. And then the next day they were like, oh, whatever comes after F, A, B, C, D, E, F, G to whatever else, maybe M, can go to the grocery store. So I can envision seeing that coming back. And when people are seeing that, and then they're saying, oh, the food is getting shorter, and we're experiencing real scarcity now, and people are now start to really realize that they can't just willingly fill their belly the way they want to, psychologically, they're going to start bugging out already. All right. But this is all to come. This is all a part of Bible prophecy. Keep looking out. Keep watching for things to come. And with that, all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai, Bashem Kodesh. Shalom.